I wish my 9-year-old wasn't alive anymore. My daughter Alexis was the sweetest baby you'd ever seen, but when she turned 5, something in her broke. She was coloring at the kitchen table when it happened the first time. She suddenly grabbed her crayon in her fist and lunged at my face, trying to stab it into my eye. I caught her wrist just in time and she started screaming, "I'm gonna cut you open and wear your skin like a dress, mommy." When she came back to herself 20 minutes later, she was just my little girl again, crying in my arms and asking, "Mommy, why are my hands shaking?" That was 4 years ago. 11 doctors and 23 medications later, the episodes only got worse. I put locks on every door and hid anything sharp, but my baby girl had turned into something that terrified me. The worst episode came out of nowhere on a random Tuesday. My 7-year-old son Jude was doing homework at the kitchen table while Alexis sat across from him drawing. She'd been calm for 3 days straight, which felt like a miracle. I walked to the pantry to grab them a snack, and I swear I wasn't gone for more than 30 seconds. Then Jude screamed. I spun around and saw Alexis standing over him with scissors buried 3 inches into his shoulder. She was whispering, "The voices said your blood will make the screaming stop," while Jude bled all over my kitchen floor. I tackled her and pinned her down, and she looked up at me with these empty eyes and said, "I'm gonna off him, mommy, then I'm gonna off you. Then everything will finally be quiet." After that, Jude needed surgery and over 20 stitches. While he was recovering, I called every psychiatric facility in the state begging them to take Alexis. They all said the same things. "We don't have beds for violent kids under 12. Her case is too severe. We can't handle her." Then some lady from the state showed up and sat across from me in the hospital cafeteria. She looked me in the eye and said, "Mrs. Wheeler, we can't just send off children because their parents find them inconvenient." I wanted to show her where Alexis bit my arm through to the bone last month, but instead I filed for an emergency court hearing. The courtroom was just this small room with wood walls and lights that buzzed overhead. Alexis wasn't there because she'd had an episode that morning and tried to strangle the lady the court sent to watch her. The judge was this older guy with bags under his eyes who looked like he'd seen everything, but I watched his face change as he flipped through Alexis's file. He saw the photos of Jude's shoulder and read about the 13 violent episodes she had in the last 6 months. Then he looked at me and said, "Mrs. Wheeler, is there anything you'd like to say before I make my decision?" I had this whole speech ready about the system failing us, but when I opened my mouth, the only thing that came out was the thing I'd been too ashamed to say to anyone. "Your Honor, I wish my child would die." The words just hung there. "I love her more than anything," I said, "but I have a son who won't sleep in his own bed because he's scared his sister will hurt him again. I have a daughter who sobs and says sorry after every episode, then asks me why her brain was made wrong. Last week she had a good moment and she looked at me and said, 'Mommy, I think everyone would be safer if I just wasn't here anymore.' I couldn't even tell her she was wrong. I can't keep my son safe from his sister. I can't keep my daughter safe from herself. If that makes me a monster, fine, but I'm a monster who is running out of options." I waited for him to tell me I was the